and welcome back to the shed. Where we left off was me in the process of gluing up the round fence. So this is the base that I glued up last time, and I've supported the joints with screws. This afternoon it's a case of gluing up the actual face and then attaching the base to the face, but that will be for another day. So next thing to do is to actually glue this up. So we've got the braces, we've got that will go into there and there. So actually I am going to be doing it all today, just thinking all this through. So here we've got the base fitted into the face of the fence, and I'm just, before I do anything, I want to make sure that this is going to be square, because unless this is square, what's the point of carrying on? Now that sounds good, doesn't it? I'm not thinking of doing anything drastic, but this has to be square, because otherwise the whole thing will be useless. Now you'll notice there's quite a big gap just here, so that will be a case of trying to ease the whole thing. That side is nice and square, just there, but the whole thing needs to move. Still, the top is still too far forward, so the whole thing needs to move. The top needs to move that way while the base doesn't move at all. So let me think. Let's put these two in, and I will screw the base into place. That way the base will not move. Right, the base won't move. That's better. That's good. So there's just a little bit more on this side. There we go, that's that. So that's got that into place. I wanted to check that all of this was working before I started the gluing process, because if there were any adjustments needed, then I need to make them now. Okay, so that's the concept done. What I'm going to do now is, before I start the gluing process, I will drill some of the holes so that in here, I drill those holes so that I can screw into the braces, and I want to screw into this rebate here. It's going to be easier to drill from this side, and that way everything will line up. So, okay. Now I know everything works nicely. Let's start drilling, then I can countersink from the other side, and then I can start gluing. Now, one thing you won't have seen when I did this was the actual screwing in process. Because of the thickness of this fence, I'm using 5mm 2-inch 50mm screws, and so that needs the 5mm drill to go through here, and when it's all glued up I will then drill the pilot hole for going into all the braces. So, and I will be putting a series of holes in this big rebate here as well, so that the base is firmly attached to the face. Ooh. So those are the rebates done just there, and that's good. So you'll notice that's where those have come through, and so it just gives me some idea of what's going where, how, why. Right, just do this base rebate, and I think there'll be 3 screws on either side. the sharpness of the tools makes all the difference. In fact, using blunt tools can be quite dangerous because they tend to slip more. Okay, just grab the countersink bit and grab my cup of tea that's been so lovingly provided. Right, one countersink bit, one cup of tea. We are all set. Let's start at this one. And just check that those countersinks are deep enough. Size screwdriver. That's nice and flush. So that's given me some idea how deep they need to be. Okay, let's crack on. And one thing I've discovered, beech burns quite quickly, and you won't be able to smell it, but the smell of burning from this bit is quite pronounced. But that's those done. There's only two left that I'm not quite sure how to deal with, and that's these two. Sorry, these three here. So, let me think. That's the T-track that will go there. None of those screw holes will interfere with the holes that I've just made, but it's that one and that one that, because they are right on the edge of the rebate for the T-track, I can't quite get the countersink bit in. Might be a case of just repositioning those, re-drilling them. Won't make any difference. So that one needs to come up slightly, and to be honest, if I put those here, where's the bit? There. If I drill down there, right next to that shelf, that should be fine. Yeah, let's re-drill those. That's better. That means I can get the screws in there very nicely. I can countersink the heads. The three holes that I did cut in slightly the wrong place won't make a blind bit of difference. You'll hardly notice them. Okay, so that's that. All I've got to do now, and that was hot, is get the glue and start the gluing. Oh, and boy, this is a lovely cup of tea. Or for the more pedantic among anybody that's watching, it's a nice cup of nice tea. Okay, so that's glued, or gluing, but before I put any screws in to lock things into place, I need to make sure that everything is square. So tighten everything down. One thing I am looking forward to is being able to reclaim some of this bench from a lot of the rubbish. So get rid of some of the excess glue that's just seeped. Let's now square everything up. That's nice and square. Okay, that's the drill. These are the screws. But of course I need to drill the pilot in the other side. Just just jumped slightly. The last thing I want is to be making it untrue. That's fine. Can I do it like this? Answer, no I can't. So, but that is now screwed to the dust extraction housing. That's given it more rigidity. So I can do this. Okay. Not quite sure why that didn't take, but we'll soon find out. Wipe it off the fence. That's that. Let's see what it's like on the other side. Okay, so there are only the braces still to do, and what's that one? Where's the other? What have I done with the other brace? What have I done with it? There it is. Oh, that was clever. Okay, I'll use smaller screw for that one. That's not going to be no good. That one can go back. Let's go for 40mm for this one. And then drill those pilots. Oh, to say it's a precision instrument, that's going to do it a lot of good. That's that. Before I put the last two in, I just want to make sure that it is still nice and square. I don't want to get this far and find it out of truth. That is nice and true still. I'm so glad with that. So there are just the 2 screws left for these final braces. I think I'm only going to use I'm only going to use 25 mils for this. I don't need anything bigger. There we go. And do you know what I've done? I am an idiot, but then you already knew that, didn't you? That needed to be in there before I glued it up. I am an idiot. Because there is now no way that will go through there. Oh dear. Is there any way I can do that? That's fine. That goes through there nicely. But that was going to be on the inside to keep everything nice and tight. So it's too late to dismantle everything now, because the glue's starting to go off. So, what to do? I could mastic that into place. I'll have to think about that one. But apart from that one big mistake and just putting the T-tracks into place, that is router fence Mark II done. Well, things have worked out better than I thought. I was just in the process of packing up and I thought I'd have another go at installing the dust extraction tubing, and believe it or not, I've managed it. I don't have to dismantle the fence. I've managed to get the locking ring into place, so I've screwed the T-tracks into place. Let me show you the finished result. So this is the final result, and round the back that's all locked into place. The tubing, that was always designed to be fairly loose, but it is locked into place underneath the hood. I'm very pleased with the result and look forward to making use of it in the future.